Winner, chicken dinner. How is everyone doing? Well, yeah.
Winner, chicken dinner.
No, I'm a loser. Loser. In the boozer.
That's on fire.
Loser. Already boot. Yeah. Well,
Loser.
Well, these things happen. If you don't know, it's the end of the Road to Nationals season. We're gonna talk about that. That's probably the earliest we've ever spoken about.
Because he was already in the boozer. To be fair,
it's the earliest we've ever spoken about something flesh and blood related.
We're not going to start now in episode 51.
We're not going to start now. So we're going to save it, but we're episode 51. Wow.
Yeah, I know. I did it this time.
That's actually quite wild, isn't it? 51 episodes of this. As you may notice, we've got a special guest who's not really a special guest anymore. You're kind of just a part of the furniture, really now.
Washed up, mate.
Yeah.
Washing machine.
We're all washed.
We've got the washing machine in. We've got Sean.
I've got the dishwasher. Thank you to everybody, and it was more than one person who came up to me and said, "How's the dishwasher?"
Yeah, even at my event, they were like, "Oh, I tell you what, I do all this stuff, and I really like the bit with Stan's Trips dishwasher." I was like, "Jesus Christ!"
People really,
apart from Mikey, he just went, "I just tuned in to listen to Flesh and Blood. And he's talking about a fucking dishwasher." Oh, sorry, I didn't swear.
There goes Mikey. Demonetized, literally demonetized already.
Let's say for 10 seconds.
That £1 down the drain. Here.
I know.
Sorry.
Yeah. Well.
We should have a swear jar.
Trip, you'll appreciate this. You'll appreciate this. Look what I got. This is terrible for podcast, by the way.
It's Doc Martin boots.
Martens.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Shall I go and get my Doc Martin boots?
No, Simon. Why don't leave your
I
Doc?
got some the other week as well.
Why did you get it? Can I tell you why I got mine?
Sale.
Oh.
Guys are stealing.
Do you want to hear the real reason I got it? Because it's quite good.
Okay, yeah.
Go for it.
We were going to a fancy dress party where you had to dress up as your partner. So I had to dress up as Nikki.
Okay.
Who
wears nothing but Doc Martens?
Doc Martens. So I was dressed in a top, a skirt, fishnets, and Doc Martens, and a blue wig.
Wow. That's wild.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. And the mustache, obviously. So
and a mustache.
Oh, did she have to grow a mustache or just buy one? Stick on.
Sure. So, as if you had to tell a woman, "Oh, did you grow your mustache?"
It was very confusing.
Everyone was like, "Huh? Which one's which?"
Yeah.
We did that once when we went and did a night out. But we didn't do like a swap to make it. We had to look like the other person. I must have been like 21. And we did that. We dressed up as girls, and then the girls dressed up as boys. But there was only my wife and her sister, and everyone else. And that was it. And there was just 3 lads, so they just looked absolutely ridiculous. And what was weird is that my Faye looks exactly like her dad. So I was
saying you've got a crush on Faye's dad.
Well, I just said to Faye. After the night, I said, I don't know why I'm in. It feels really weird. It feels like I'm snogging your dad, and I like it.
That's the remix of the Katy Perry song. I kissed your dad.
I kissed your dad, and I liked it. So my Doc Martens came from Faye because it's my birthday.
Happy birthday.
You'll be listening.
We're not going to sing, but
why?
It's
Happy birthday to you.
Oh, everything's just so delayed. No, I tell you what, don't fucking sing. All right, so yeah, it's my birthday. This is coming out Friday. My birthday's Monday, so thanks everyone.
Yeah,
let's have a look then.
I just did. Just showing
you. He just showed us the shoes, mate. Like 2 seconds ago. They were nice.
Okay, all right. So I'm going to get my leg up, everyone.
Spotify listeners, Hamish is lifting his leg in the air, and he's wearing some lovely Doc Martin.
They look like they might be the same as mine, actually.
With a lovely
model they are.
Jean.
Looks like a 1460.
Yeah, the Mark 1 boot, mate. What are you on about?
Oh, okay.
I think it's 1460. I'd be embarrassed if I got that wrong.
Made in England.
They haven't got a heel.
Probably not made in England, unless they specifically say they're made in England.
Oh, well.
Unless they specifically say made in England on the bottom.
It doesn't have a heel to it. They're like flat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. Oh, I've got
Mine's
to
a
check.
they're
Berman.
probably a slightly cheaper model, and they're probably they branched out. I used to know someone who worked for a sort of like a bank, investment bank, and they were working with Doc Martens and basically saying to Doc Martens, you need to make your boots worse because people buy one pair and then they never need to buy another pair for about 20 years. And
that explains a lot.
Sales. Says you a lot about capitalism as well.
Right.
Well,
they don't say made in UK.
I've had my boots pair, the same as those, Hamish, for probably about 10 years. I got them when I left uni. But yeah.
And they're still good to go.
Still got them.
Yeah. I got mine when I turned 17, 18, and I still wear them today. But they're the made in England ones.
Did you get them at the same time as your Barber jacket?
No, I got my Barber jacket when I was a bit older, but that one does. Well, Simon came to me once. He was like, "Oh, you've got a couple of Barber jackets. How are they?" Like after a while, I was like, "Oh, they're great. They're super durable." And then I started describing all the things that were wrong with my jacket. And then I suddenly realized I was like, "Yeah, the zip broke. I lost the hood. The pockets have got holes in them, but they're still great jackets."
But I still got my arms.
Convinced me to get a Barber jacket. So
yeah, they are nice though. They are good. This is like British fashion episode of like
it is
Point podcast. What do we, Doc Marten boots and Barber jackets?
All right, come on, let's just do this. Right? Let's crack on. Home news. Home news.
We've got to get a better jingle.
No, we don't. That's what we're on about, Sean. 2 episodes in and you're fucking critiquing.
A sporadic member of the podcast.
Sure. Yeah, go on then, Sean. What's your home news?
Yeah, that means you have to go first.
Yeah.
Oh, sugar. Home news. I went down to Camber Sands on the south coast the other day. It was lovely. Went to a really nice place called Rye. Near Hastings.
Rye's a lovely little place.
Rye is nice. Yeah. Had a lovely grilled vegetable stack burger. And some delicious ice cream.
Do you want to know a really strange memory I have of Rye? But we used to go there most summers just as like day trips, and I used to buy new top trumps in the toy shop whenever I would go to Rye. There was like a 2-story toy shop that was pretty old school.
That is the most Simon thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
I think Top Trumps is probably like my first ever card game.
Oh, it was great.
If I was honest.
Winner.
Does it count?
Probably not.
Is it a game and is it made of cards?
Yeah, I guess. Monopoly has cards. Is that a card game?
Oh, that's a board game.
If you want.
If you want.
Yeah, I know it's your birthday.
Probably in Desborough. That's all I had. Didn't have the board. They stole it.
Come on then, Hamish. What are you up to? Have you had your home news? Is that birthday time?
Yeah, I guess. Well, I went to Belgium, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. Not for the calling, though.
No, I was late, wasn't I? Drove all the way to Antwerp. And I was like, oh, Mr. No, I went to Belgium.
To Centre Parks.
I drove on the wrong side of the road for the first time in my life. It was fine. It was actually ridiculously easy. And yeah, it was just a fantastic week. I've been with the family, did loads of activities, and just realised that I think that we're incredibly fortunate that we speak English, because I didn't didn't realise how crucial speaking English is in other countries, because they teach it. Like I was just talking to loads of different like dads and stuff like while I was there, and just saying like, it's just wild that everyone here speaks English. And I said, yeah, well, we kind of we get taught it in primary school and secondary school, and we all just know that if we have English under our belt, like getting jobs and everything and working is just it opens up so many doors. So it's kind of not life is not harder, but you have a lot more opportunities if you do speak English. And then you don't have to learn German and French and everything, because all the Germans and Frenches and everything, they're all speaking English. So it's just the language everyone jumps in on. I was like, well, how lucky I feel. Quite fortunate, really. So.
Yeah, we barely had to put any effort into it as well. We just basically just get born with it.
Yeah, it's just
like, you don't have to learn, don't have to do any grammar. Just make it up as you go along, don't you? Really?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, exactly. So
Hamish does anyway. Something you said on Twitter, Hamish, was really it was really heartwarming. It really got me. And it was like you were having a reflection about when you got home, about all the times you were the kid in the car when you'd been on holiday with your dad, and then you realised that had come full circle, and you've been on a European holiday that you've driven back from with your son and your daughter.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh, that is such a like inception moment.
That's all I was
But
thinking
really
about.
heartwarming.
Yeah, that's all I was when I actually got home, and that's what I was thinking. I'm actually going to mention this on the podcast. I literally parked up, got out of the car, and jumped in the air. I went, yes, I did it! I can't believe it! I drove there, and come back, and we survived, and I did it. It was just, and I went on that Eurotunnel, and I just remember sitting, and I remember turning around, looking at Freya's face, and being, I was there, I sat there, being on this fucking Judge Dredd looking train. You know, it's
so sick. I did the same trip when I was a kid. We went all the way down to the south of France.
Exactly, all of that, and then I've done it with my own kids, and one day, hopefully, you know, they'll drive, and then they'll take their kids, and maybe, you know, Brexit will decommission and turn those trains into houses or something. I don't know, but hopefully that Eurotunnel is still there.
And if not, there's the ferry.
Oh, I never went on the ferry.
You're missing
Ferry's
out.
good.
It just seems train. Oh, I've got something really funny to tell you. Right, when I was on the Eurotunnel, all the toilets didn't work. Right, so I needed a wee.
This is such a Hamish story.
Yeah.
Wait, it's this again like living your like childhood? Did you have to pee in a bottle?
Not the bottle. So Freya did a wee on her potty, and I went like.
You could just end it there. Like we know,
don't you? So I went down a couple of carriages, and there was no cars out. I was like, this is weird. There's no cars here. And then I was like, oh, all these two toilets are like 3 carriages down are like out of order for some fuck knows reason. So I went, all right, I guess I'm pissing in the potty. So I just opened that little travel potty up and whipped it out, weed in it, and then I went, shit, how am I emptying this? And I went, oh, fuck it, we're almost there. Just tipped on the floor. I was like, that's that. And then Faye went, oh, did you empty it? And then, oh, God, yeah, it was so funny trying to get myself out of that. She went, all right. I said, yeah, I sorted it. Did you? Yeah, I sorted it. And then Flo went, oh, I need to go to the toilet. So I went, I know the other 2 toilets down there don't work. Come on, we're going this way. Why are you going that way? It's quicker. So went the other way. And then we come back and we're like, why did you take so long? I said, because we've only got 1 toilet. And Logan went, because there's only 1 toilet down there that works. And she went, well, why did you go the other way, Hamish? I went, because there was toilets there. I thought you went toilet. And I was like, look, right, I pissed in the potty and I chucked it on the floor. She went, ah! I need to put it on my lap. She was thrilled.
God,
she was thrilled.
So good.
Yeah,
so good.
And all the driving there, Europe is absolutely fine. And the worst bit of driving back from a holiday is the M25.
That's horrible.
Yeah.
It is literally the worst thing in the world. Dartford Tunnel. Oh shit! You just reminded me. I need to pay that toll.
A hot charge. That's a bit late, mate. You're going to get fined.
What?
Trip, what's your home news?
No.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say, me and Sean, we just get to London, don't we? And then we could stop. So the M25 is not too well.
Yeah,
you can go Blackwall Tunnel instead.
Blackwall Tunnel, mate. Yes. Sean's not even
Tunnel.
Tunnel.
That's
right?
horrible. No, I get Rotherhithe Tunnel. I get Rotherhithe Tunnel.
London chat. See, it's not that bad, isn't it?
What's your home news?
My home news. So I didn't do any RTNs this weekend. On Saturday, I went to a music festival called Mighty Hoopla, which was very fun. I saw it was very different. So our friend Dyson, right, David Dyson, went to a music festival last weekend. I think he saw, who did he see? Simon, it was someone cool. It was like a rock band festival. I saw Aqua of Barbie Girl. Yeah. I saw Kelly Rowland of Kelly Rowland was of Destiny's Child.
Destiny's Child, yeah.
Yeah, with Beyonce.
I mean, Beyonce was in town as well, right?
Beyonce was in town.
She was.
I saw Kelly Rowland. I saw Nadine from Girls Aloud.
Oh wow,
Nadine?
this is really.
She was actually good. She was real good.
Jamila?
Gemma Collins. Gemma Collins was there.
Natasha Bedingfield.
I did see Natasha Bedingfield, but only briefly. I saw Jamelia.
Bedingfield?
I only caught Superstar because I was in the bar waiting to buy some drinks, and I just caught Superstar, which is the only good Jamelia song. So
Yeah, absolutely.
it was a very, very fun festival.
I had a group of friends who went.
Yeah, it was.
Said it was great.
It was great. The food was great. Drinks was great. While I was doing that, Kate was singing at Wembley Stadium at the FA Cup final, as you guys know. So if you watched the FA Cup final, you would have seen my wife on TV singing a hymn. Can't remember what hymn it was.
will always love you. That's all I had in my head.
Wow.
Yeah,
I know.
good job. That was good. That's almost,
Almost sounded like her.
to how it sounded on TV, despite the fact that it was not the song.
But
So yeah, we had a pretty busy weekend. Apart from that, I mean, I can't remember anything else I've done. Like whenever we have this segment, I'm like, I can remember something I did 2 days ago, and that's it.
Yeah.
So
Shit, panic.
we're not doing Gardener's Corner. Are we?
well,
No,
can we?
no Gardener's World today.
I can just say that when I got back
Yeah.
from holiday, the sunflowers shot up. That's it.
Oh,
Lovely.
incredible. Well, my tomatoes are doing very well.
Okay, I've paid. I've paid
Paid the
You
fine.
paid off.
I paid the toll. I paid the
Simon,
troll toll.
What did you do? Because it's past
No,
15 minutes in.
You have to
We're
pay the
already-
troll
we're
toll
already in. So,
to go into this little hole.
after-
Pay the troll toll to get into the Dartford Hole.
Yeah.
so
We definitely
obviously,
can't sing the real lyrics.
No.
obviously, I'm living vicariously through my children now, and my daughter has just finished level 8 ice skating, which is the highest numbered level. And now she is moving on to bronze level figure skating.
Ooh.
I thought your daughter
Wow.
did does your daughter do karate as well?
She does also do karate. Yeah, we are
Fucking hell,
those.
you're
we are
parents are
those
taking.
parents
Yeah,
where we're just
Yeah.
like, we're going to chuck you at everything and see what sticks.
yeah.
Yeah,
And it costs you,
go
and that's
for
what
it.
you're going to work for, to pay for all these clubs.
Basically,
Yeah.
I
Simon
added it all up
knows.
recently
Dr.
in the
Denny.
budget, and I was
It's a
just
lot of
like,
money.
oh my goodness, it's
Yeah.
like, it's a lot.
God, imagine having a budget, right?
No, that's what we had to do.
I
When
know.
Logan did swimming and cubs, then scouts.
not looking
And
then
we've,
this, then
I mean, we've
that.
got karate, and then beavers, and then swimming, and drumming lessons, and ice skating
Fucking
lessons.
hell,
and-
Simon.
Oh, it's
I
so
know.
good though. What a life.
How the hell do you
Anyway,
buy?
okay.
How do you afford 2 cases? Oh, I forgot you're a doctor. Right, let's go.
Oh, he's got
Oh,
Whoa,
social
whoa, whoa,
workers
whoa.
against
So
doctors. Let's
the-
go.
that. The best bit
It's not-
about
Not much
moving
for
up,
competition.
No,
best bit-
race to the bottom.
right? The best bit about moving up a skate level is that instead of having to be at the arena at 9:15 on a Sunday morning, we can now do 1:45 on a Sunday afternoon.
Oh, that is a
Ah.
good
In
deal.
the middle of
Post
the day,
lunch.
though.
Yeah, that's
Pardon?
what you want.
In the middle of the day.
Yeah, but I mean, usually just one of us goes with her rather than both of us, so we can work around it, and it means we don't have to be up at 7:00 on a Sunday morning.
Oh,
Plus, that's a much better time to go grab a coffee or a drink somewhere, isn't it, while they're doing the class?
she's
Seven in
done
the
Dad
morning.
proud with
No,
that
Yeah.
one.
can we
For
try?
sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Nailed
All
it.
right,
Should we do drinks? A quick
Drinks.
version.
Hamish, what are you
yeah.
drinking, bud?
Got two of my drinks from the Beer 52. I've
The
got.
uncancelable Beer 52.
It's cancelled.
Cancelled now.
It's cancelled. So I've got a Siren Dealer's Choice Session IPA.
Okay,
Siren. That's a good.
they are good, yeah.
Yeah,
Ooh.
and
Good art as well.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
And I got a another Siren, but it's called BB number. I don't know.
I love
it-
that Hamish is now bringing 2 beers to every podcast.
I think it's a wise move because I drink mine very quickly.
Yeah, so do I. I got it. It's
And I'm
called a
like,
Ruby Tuesday Red IPA.
nice.
Ooh.
Oh,
Is
red
that
beers are
by
great.
numbers?
What?
Brewed by numbers. BB no.
16.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Brewed
it's
by
a
numbers.
collaboration.
Yeah.
That's
Aye.
literally.
Is that Bermondsey Beer Mile?
Yeah,
Sean?
it's literally just outside the window there.
Nice.
Oh,
Nice, we got the Bermondsey
there you
Beer
go.
Mile
Go
one.
get one.
Insane.
You
Yeah.
just pull your window up and go,
Cool.
oi!
Chuck us one, man.
Yeah, chuck us one, mate. All right,
Yeah,
lovely.
more beer is the-
All right, Sean, what are you drinking?
Oh no, we've got to do the order. Simon.
There is
Going in
that.
alphabetical order.
No, Simon.
Hot bugger
do it
legs.
right.
Dan.
Hamish, Sean, Simon, Trip.
No, Right. Sean's last. Fucking hell, why are we doing this? Right. Sorry. I have a chair that I sit on for dinner. No one's allowed to sit there. That's how it works in my life.
Yeah, because you're a dad. That's how it works. Dad's
Simon,
there.
what are you drinking?
So I
Sorry, Sean.
have a New Albion Brewing Company porter.
Ooh, porter.
Ooh.
Can't really see. There's too much glare on the ring light. It's 6%.
Yeah.
And it's going to be dark, so Hamish isn't going to like it.
Nope. What about
porters are rough.
They're not rough.
I just could never get on with a porter.
What is it? All stouts are
you an
porters, but not all
anti-porter?
porters are stouts.
Pass.
Yeah, probably that one. What about you, Louis Theroux?
Yeah, so I've actually got a Stone Forge.
Oh,
they gave us that.
They do look.
That
Amazing
advert we
advert.
play a lot of, and we don't.
The advert went down really well.
It
Yeah.
went down really well.
So I thought I would actually. I have one left. I've been trying to get some for the guys. I'm gonna.
You've been drinking them all.
Send you some. I have been drinking. I did have 4 at the start of the year, and this is the last.
It's just that bit. It's just that bit where every drink we have now, you're like, oh, I'd rather drink boar piss.
Yeah, I know. Everyone was like, "Oh my gosh, where did that come from?"
I'd rather drink
cider.
boar piss. That bit.
Marshmallow.
We had them on
This
the
swill.
on the stream. Yes. But yeah, it's a sparkling mead, and they have partnered with Push the Point recently on our stream, so we're looking forward to getting some more. But Sean, what are you drinking?
I'm going to represent the low and no community with an alcohol-free Heineken.
That's a good. I like that.
I've been enjoying a few gluten-free beers, but getting gluten-free, alcohol-free is pretty hard. We have a lot of 0% Guinness in the house, but I'm actually enjoying Heineken.
Yeah, Patreon Jack Raven recommended a non-alcoholic beer on the Point Discord recently. They want to try out because it looks pretty decent. But cheers guys. Happy end of RTN season.
Yeah, happy end of RTN. Cheers.
22 minutes in. Let's talk flesh and blood.
Yeah.
Now,
so what do you want to? What are we going to talk about today, Simon?
I thought we would first talk about the amazing addition of streaming to Push the Point and how that has been going for Road to National season, because I would say we've all noticed an uptick in interest in our channel, and also a reinvigoration of our love for content creation because of that interest. It's like motivated all 4 of us to get better and do more. So, Sean, do you want to just give us a rundown of the RTNs that you streamed for Push the Point this season?
So obviously it was was it the weekend of the 7th or the 8th of May when it started RTN 4 weeks ago? We did I know, it's gone quick. We've done that weekend we did Rule 0 in Stratford. That was CC. And then we did Board in the City down in Southampton.
And Board in the City blew up, didn't it? In terms of we got an insane number of views, people watching. I think that was the week before Nationals started, right? So we had a really big audience, which is like always worth remembering. But like the fact that people were tuning into what we were doing was really big. And you're like, it's like the biggest stream.
That is the biggest stream I have ever done. That beat the streams that I did for Nationals last year.
Crazy.
Absolutely crazy. I think it was a bit of a I don't know, trifecta of perfect situation for us, really, wasn't it? Because it was like right before we had the extra week on everybody else for RTNs. So we were the only ones really streaming RTNs. No one really knew what the meta was looking like. And also Azuri was on everyone's radar, and it performed so well on the day, even though, Ollie Cornish, who is a fantastic player and paints some incredible cards, all arts, he took it all the way through to the final.
That's the part of the streams as well, right? Is because that actually ended up influencing the meta of a lot of other tournaments, because I think people were not everyone, don't get me wrong, but a lot of people were sleeping on Azuri, especially I can't remember, was Ollie running he running the contract, right? And I think the contract version has really stepped it up Like we saw
Yeah.
it a bit at the Pro Tour. We saw Francesco running it at the Pro Tour, getting a few eyes on it. People looking, oh, this is a bit interesting. And then I think people seeing the success of it on the UK streams before their road to nationals, suddenly that got big, and that actually took a bit of the edge off Lexi. And I think that really opened up the meta, because I think people were like looking at Lexi and thinking this is impossible. And it was good for us, Simon, because it kind of freed up a bit of space for Katsu, because it's a fine matchup. Zuri Katsu is a really fun game.
It's a fun game.
But Lexi's a tough one. But yeah, it really opened things up, and that was really good. And I thought like we definitely had a role in kind of like, we obviously didn't build that deck, don't get me wrong, but like actually like
we built the stage,
like, hey,
showing it, giving it.
Here is an amazingly cool deck. You should check it out. And I know Ollie built that deck. Ollie's a deck builder, right? Like
he has played some insane decks against me. He played a Starvo he played against me, where I think he had out all 3 potions of strength, all 3 time snaps, and all 3 epots as well in a game against me. And he had sledge. Oh, it's absolutely mental.
It was like you sat down, you're like, oh, another Starvo, and then they're like turn 1, it's like, oh, time snap potion.
Staunch response, time snap potion. You're like, hang on, and then you realize he's actually got the sledge of
Crazy Brews as well. And like, I think the idea is to go like Crazy Brew, and then try and like just delete
loads just getting loads of 2+ go again. And it was crazy.
But after that, you did the Bad Moon Cafe, right?
Bad Moon Draft. That was really good as well.
What do you think about streaming draft? Because I think like obviously like it doesn't get the numbers that CC gets. Anyone can see that. There's no point pretending that's not the case. But like, I do think it's kind of cool though to stream a draft, because I think draft is one of those formats where people can feel a bit like, oh, I have no idea what I'm doing, or maybe feel a bit intimidated. Like, you can't just go online and get a meta deck with draft. You actually need to sort of watch and see how people are building decks. I think there was a good thing with it.
I would have really loved it if we could have someone on the ground, one of us drafting and being filmed drafting. Like that would, to me, that would. So disclaimer: I tried to film my draft at a different RTN and I did terribly. Not because I filmed it, but we may or may not release that at some point. But I think having that as part of the stream would actually be really fun in real time. It would give the viewers something to stick around to.
I was there, but I was like, this was my second time drafting outside.
Absolutely.
And my first time was the night before it.
It opens you up. It opens you up to criticism and people asking questions and whatever.
I did okay.
I think from like my perspective, I guess it's a lot of sitting around. It's also a lot of time for viewers as well to turn off, and the actual engagement from in the chat is like nowhere near the same. People just don't know what's actually in decks, like what to expect. Like, do we actually know if this deck is any good? Especially because by the time you get into the second draft, it's now a new deck, and like maybe if they use the same deck all the way through, obviously it's not as good for the tournament, but it would be good for watching. So it's a totally different dynamic. But I'd be interested to hear from people whether they want to see more of it going forward.
Because I like it. It's enjoyable. But I think Simon's right. Like, we could find a way to capture the deck building process. I think that would really add to it.
Well, that's the point. I think when people want to watch some of the games without knowing, like you're saying about watching the deck construction, which is the core thing of what a limited format really is, and then you play the games to just see if the thing worked, but it's the construction of it all. But when you watch a classic constructed deck, that's watching someone like play something that you may have collected, or you might have a vision of what does this sort of deck look like if I want to play as Yuri. And that's great because you can buy that. You have agency to see what it is you want to do with your interest. And that's why I can't watch any limited stuff. I don't like watching draft because it's very much like, this, it's just watching some dudes just open the three. What did they get in their 3 packs, and how good are how good are they as deck builders in these 3 packs? it's a completely different game in my opinion. I think it's just a completely different set of interests. I think we could all like Flesh and Blood, but it's very much, you know, watching Classic Constructed and even watching Blitz is something that is just like, okay, cool. I've just jumped into this. I really like the look of this hero. I would love to see what these guys are doing and how it's played and how this sort of particular matchup works. Because, you know, this is really where I put my money and investment in. And that's the fun bit. I can actually make what this guy's doing.
People want to see the lines, right? And it's like if you're watching Sealed, you're never going to have the exact same deck that you're watching on the screen. And it's like you can kind of get the gist of a hero, but it never goes as deep as maybe what you would want. But I think I personally quite like it. I think I love the fact that Draft is part of Nationals, is part of Pro Tour, is part of Worlds, because it's such a skill testing.
I think playing
in my opinion, it is a skill testing format, but it's all about the draft. It is about the draft.
And you're not allowed to record any of the draft.
No, so we're kind of missing
the key part of the game, and you just don't see it.
We're not watching the reason.
Yeah, actually the best bit.
Yeah, exactly. And I think draft is something that is like the amazing experience is being in it, not watching it. Whereas CC,
it's a player's format.
Whereas that's why CC is superior, because it's watchable and playable. It's the game, in my opinion.
This isn't us saying we're not going to do sealed streams.
No, of course not.
They're
but
a really important part of the format. But
also the amount of emphasis though that LSS put on, you know, the importance of draft and
limited play,
particularly draft, like limited play, and yet like actually when it comes to viewership, like playing it is fantastic, but what can we do to make it more watchable? Like help us figure this out, sort of thing.
What we need is
Trip's
stuff like I think we need for stuff like what I'd really like is for like, you know, like Draft Fab, like online things like that to really, really take off. So we start to get like statistics about picks, and then you could have like being able to see a hand and essentially being able to say, right, immediately identify what's the most picked card out of this hand, and then being able to see whether people actually pick what statistically is the most popular card. And if you play a game like Hearthstone, where you have the draft format with that, you can get like overlays that basically say, you know, 66% of people pick this card, or this card is highly rated based on what cards you have. Like, I don't want everything to become about stats, but from a streaming point of view, stats are really interesting to be like, oh, it's interesting they went for that card when statistically most people go for something else. And then if that player then wins, it's like, oh, that's kind of interesting.
But you have to get the right player as well. You have to get, you have to also, you can't just get any old player. You've got to have someone that a lot of people will have confidence that he is also picking the right stuff as well. Because if you've just filmed me drafting, would you have confidence that actually Hamish knows exactly how to pivot, how to turn in this set? No, you wouldn't. So you'll be sitting there going, this guy's just wasting our fucking time, right?
Yeah, and people draft differently, right? Like I'm very much a like commit hard, commit early, and commit hard. And I love, you know, I'm like the kind of person that loves to pass a good card, right? Because I love to put
a good signal.
I love to put person next to me and just basically say, look, mate, I'm not going anywhere near this hero. That's kind of the way I like to draft. And people will know what I like to play. Like I always try and draft Ninja if I can. Like
but we're talking about we're not dissing draft. We're draft is not like in its game is amazing. It's just as content creators, as people who are setting up stream, CC is in itself an easy thing to just set up, and it brings a lot more entertainment and a lot more like value. Value-wise, in terms of like, okay, because this is just doing what it says on the tin, whereas draft is it's a bit of a dance, and you've got to get if you just did what we did, the ceiling's like you hit the ceiling pretty quick.
I know we have to carry on with our breakdown of the events, and I think this is a really good discussion to have, because I think draft is actually my favorite way to enjoy the game. I think depending on the set use to draft,
Depends
I
what
really
cards I
enjoy.
pick.
I enjoy the deck building challenge. I enjoy whether to commit or pivot. I think Outsiders is really good for that because you've got 6 sort of archetypes out of the box, 6 heroes to go for. And even if you get stuck in a class, you can usually pivot between the 2. So I do enjoy the challenge of that. But you're right, there's a lot of waiting around. And from a content point of view, it's not necessarily the best. I think there is a difference between CC, though, in the early meta, like we saw with our first couple of RTNs, and then with a more established meta, sort of this last weekend and the Battle Harden that we streamed as well. They bring a different experience.
It's almost like the end of like this is the like you're saying. The start is the discovery, and in the end is actually the.
And then you start to form a meta.
Yeah.
And see decks that are played with only minor variations. So you might see 2 or 3 cards or 2 or 3 card types changed rather than the whole deck being different. Like Azuri, for example, we've seen a lot. I think we've seen a lot more contract Azuri versus the bait and switch Azuri, which I thought did better at the Pro Tour. So
I think Contract Azuri is
such good value.
Is one of the most interesting and fun decks to watch as well. Like I like how it uses the Codex Frailty. Like I think that when you see, depends on how you feel about what I'm about to say, but I feel like Contract Azuri reminds me of like Earthbriar, isn't it? Feels like how LSS intended the hero to be played. Like obviously Azuri's hero power is about swapping cards in and swapping stealth for something else, but like they like this. I feel when I see Azuri players playing a Codex of Frailty, that to me is what went through the LSS design team's head when they see that. It's that keeping that one card and just being like, Codex of Frailty, fetch the leave no witnesses, threaten the arsenal.
I completely agree.
Such an LSS line, and I love that. And it's the same thing with Earthbriar, where you're like, I can see exactly what they had in mind when they printed these Earth cards. It's exactly what you thought we were going to do, and then you end up with all the in LSS's own words, the degenerate stuff that ends up going crazy
that
they maybe didn't see coming. But like, I know that's LSS's own words.
I know. I hate it that they. I hate the word that they just use degenerate. It's like, come on, man.
Yeah,
maybe different
word. I love Contract Azuri. If I had 3 Codex of Frailties, I'm up to 2. It's costing me a fortune, but I'm up to 2.
Seriously, that is literally Codex of Frailty and Surgical Extraction is the only thing that's pricing people out.
Sean, where did you go after the draft?
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
After the draft, we were at Bad Moon. Darksphere over in Shepherd's Bush.
So we had a break, didn't we? Because there was a calling around to it.
Yeah, bloody thing. But no, we got to stream the Darksphere one. That was back to Classic Constructed, and again, it was a great day. Darksphere is actually like they've really like cleaned up the store. Yeah, it's like we've got like a dedicated section now.
Great, actually.
In all honesty, I walked in and David, the store manager, and there's Lexi, who's the owner, Alexi, sorry, and David was like, "Yeah, here's your little corner, your stream corner." I stood there. I got to stand there for like 5 minutes and be like, "This is like fairy dreamland. I've got so much space. I'm tucked in a corner. The sound is going to be great."
And and you had your new mics to play with as well.
Yeah, and my new mics. Yeah, it was lovely, and it was a great day, and I was really chuffed actually to see some of the players who managed to make it to top 8 and got their nationals invites on their last event, like Alex Price, who took it away with Bravo, which was absolutely amazing.
I want to give a huge shout out to Alex because they've got to be like the nicest person in Fab, like one of the nicest people in Fab. Like they always like greet me whenever I'm at a tournament and they're there, and I'm just like, this guy's just so nice. So like just being able to take it down, being Jamie Fulton in the finals, made me feel as well.
I know.
Pretty spice.
We've got to see Jamie and his nationals invite as well.
Yeah, he left it. We did. Usually, he just leaves it to the last minute.
You expect, you know, I was saying this when I did the meta report with Baz last week, and I was saying
Shout
a
out
lot
to
of
Baz
players
and
that
his
got-
awesome meta reports.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It was genuinely one of the most fun things I've done. Was doing that meta report with Baz. But like, there's players that you expect to see at Nats, and it's like they kind of have to be there because it feels weird. You need to beat these players, or you need to be one of these players, right? To win Nats. And like, I think Jamie, he's a great player. He should be at Nats. Like we saw people like Jack Raven and George Rogers, and
George Rogers was sweating at one point. He had to
George
win this weekend.
Yeah, even Matt Fox was like took a couple of weekends, right?
Yeah,
So,
but then he ate
you know,
an event.
It shows,
but that's the thing, right? It's
shows
not as easy as it used to be, and
Yeah.
it's tough. Like you can't just assume you're going to come to a tournament and just stomp it.
Top
Should
four, yeah.
Should we talk about RTNs? I know
Well,
we've just been talking about stream.
Should we talk about our situation?
Should we talk about? Well, we're talking about this real
Well,
awkward.
very
Simon's
quickly,
making
very
everything
quickly.
hard.
Right now. So very quickly, we've got Hamish, who's top forward.
I did.
Yeah,
We've got Trip, who's top 8'd twice, and
yeah.
but will get in on XP.
Man shows
Should
up.
get in
Man
on
shows
XP.
up to Armories.
And then we've got me, who messed up a draft RTN and then went to a CC RTN yesterday, went 3-0, down to 3-2, and then lost in the quarterfinals.
Oh,
What time
which
are you
was-
getting up tomorrow?
So I am getting up at 1:15 tonight to play in a US Armory, and then tomorrow I am streaming Organised Play EU Armory online, and then I'm going to my local Armory on Wednesday, and then I might do the Monday, Tuesday repeat next week.
okay.
my-
So everyone,
So, no. So
go on.
So
Go on.
this is so I sort of feel like I'm maybe 30 to 40 XP off qualification. So it's within reach to a certain extent. And I turned around, I was pretty disappointed last night, as you can imagine. When I got home,
Yeah.
I was not in a good mood, and I recognise that is because I care about the game and I want to be involved in nationals.
Yeah.
And I want to be playing at nationals. I love the game. I love the community. I want to be a part of that feeling, right? So I sat there with my wife and we talked about it, and she's like, "Well, how would you feel if you didn't try and grind the XP over the next 10 days?" And I was like, "Well, I feel pretty terrible." And she said, "Well, you've got to try then."
Yeah.
So she's giving me a lot of support.
Edge.
After
Oh, shout out to Nikki, man. Nikki
I was gonna
is.
say, we've
Nikki
got
is.
to
It's gonna be Nikki.
No, Nikki
come
is
back to
like
that
is top is like top tier wife.
she's amazing. She's put a huge shift in
S-tier.
over the weekend, and we'll get
S-tier
back
wife.
to that because we're gonna come back to Saturday's events. I was obviously at an RTN yesterday. Saturday was a very busy day, 13 hours of casting a German event. So Nikki's put a huge shift in with the kids over the weekend, and now I've got to do this for a week. So, but we are going to laugh at my misfortune because we're going to stream it and make it a bit of a laugh.
We've done a great thumbnail.
Come on, everyone.
I say.
Let's watch Simon get 129th.
Let's watch me fail.
But I think the thing to remember is like, even if like, I
Gotta
think
try.
the fact that you're trying for it is what is that you might like. You know, we all want you to make it. We all want you
do.
to be there.
If I
Simon
do,
is
if I
again
don't,
one of those players that should be there and
I
like,
doubt
should
that.
be part of the question. And like, but if you don't, like the fact that you're gunning for it, you're going to try and make it happen is great.
Well, it's one of those situations. I think I've seen a few people on Twitter today saying a similar thing, right? So either they could only get to 1 or 2 RTNs, and their Armory attendance hasn't been as good as it was last year because family stuff, because work stuff, because life gets busy. And now since COVID has well and truly gone out the window, everyone's gone back to that normal routine of daily life. And you can't necessarily make an Armory every week in the same place, or we're not all lucky enough to live in London where you've got 5 Armories a week, right? Not everyone lives that close to a game store. So
yeah,
this isn't just in the UK, this is in the US, in Australia, New Zealand, like
Worldwide.
different places worldwide. Prestige worldwide.
Well, I think the one thing I want to say is like I think what this is showing, like, because obviously I live in London, but I don't go to Armories regularly. I go like maybe I have been since I've got so close.
My local Armory is on right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like we're saying, like our local is Monday night, which is push
Yeah.
the point night. Rule Zero is Wednesday, which is normally I've had a long day at work and I just can't
Yeah.
make it over. Friday's Dartsfield, which is the furthest one away. What it's showing is it's the skirmish season, and it's the pre-release.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
skirmish season was big XP.
And I think we've got to rethink the mid-year skirmish season, and I think actually LSS needs to rebrand the mid-year skirmish season, because skirmish season 6, because the upcoming one is season 7, was essentially a nationals qualifier.
It
Like,
was, yeah.
the one where I took Ira to first place, I went, was it 4-1 and then 3 wins? So 30,
That was 7 wins.
42 XP.
Yeah.
42 XP.
That's probably what that's probably what actually got you in Nats.
That's that's almost a quarter of my XP. Current XP total was that one skirmish win.
Well,
And
it
I said on the Discord earlier today, wouldn't it be great if a skirmish win got, like, I was just like, we were just chatting shit on the Discord, but I was like, you know, like, what if a skirmish win got you a nationals invite? And I was like, to be honest, it kind of does.
Well, it did. If it wasn't for that skirmish win, I don't think you'd be where you are.
No, well, I'd probably still be in it, but
it's a third of my XP. My skirmish win was a third of my XP right now, and
I just think people need to rethink skirmishes.
Well, it's definitely dawned on people that
I have now.
The skirmish season before RTNs is important.
Yeah,
because
I think
6 XP.
Yeah, what does it say to the accessibility of like organized play? Skirmish is supposed to be the next level up, isn't it, from your local armory night? That's
regional play.
That's pretty intense for them to basically turn into what we're saying.
Well, it's not going to be all of them.
No, but
it's like 1 out of 3 seasons, right? But I think it's good.
The level of competition that's going to be going down at them is, if that jumps up, you know, like RTN, sometimes you walk into some of them rooms, and especially like the last couple of weeks, it gets pretty tense.
But Blitz is Blitz, right?
Blitz is Blitz.
Well, you've just given me a cue. You just given me the cue now
of knowing.
Well, I was 452 on the leaderboard, and then I thought, well, I've got to make top 4. I jumped up 200 places now.
Yeah.
From my by that one event, and it just made me realize. Actually, I thought I was in a hell of trouble because of the. I've been to one armory this year. You know, because I went to the one armory I could go to, even though I play this game a lot, but in XP land.
Armories are a lot if you got a family, right? Because it's
but I think you just made me realize there and then. I went, oh, you know, I wrote off these skirmishes as if they were just like whatevers, right? But actually, I will now turn around and go, is this the one before the RTN? Yeah. I'm going to like 3 of them. I'm going to try and go to like 3 of them. And just
if you can get 4 wins at each one, or 3 wins at each one, it's big jump.
And then I can at least show up and go, right, what's my lead?
Yeah.
You know.
But
I still had to top 4
is that the skirmish seasons are great, but they need to ditch sealed.
That's
sealed.
Dog.
Sealed is
dog.
They've got pre-constructed this time, mate.
Sealed is essentially a qualifying format for national. Like, it's not officially, but it basically is officially because, and I don't think that's cool.
Well,
I just don't go to that one.
Exactly, I disagree. The people who want to go to Sealed,
somebody else is going to go.
Well,
the people who want to go to Sealed will go to Sealed. The people who want to go to Blitz constructed, the people who want to go to the pre-constructed deck skirmish can go to the pre-constructed deck skirmish.
You'd love it, Simon. It's Kano, Ira, and Kasai. That is Blitz. It's beautiful. It's
Simon,
like
what were you streaming at the weekend?
So I think this we'll probably do a review of my last minute grind. I've left it a little bit late, but we'll come back to that another time. We can laugh at it later.
We'll revisit it.
Into next episode you'll see. You'll see.
So my Saturday, as I said, was 13 hours sat in this room. Not constantly. I managed to leave every now and then. And we were joined by Shingo, friend of the show, Shingo, who's an absolute hero for helping on Saturday. But we streamed the Metropole Ruhr Battle Hardened from Germany. Now, the team at White Rabbit put together what they called Project Pentecost, which was a group of content creators from around Europe who essentially restreamed their feed and cast it in multiple European languages. So we had the English language stream on the Saturday for the Battle Hardened, and Go Again Gaming as had the Sunday for the PTI event. Ivor Fidia had the French stream. Arc Italia had the Flesh and Blood Italia had the Italian stream. Yorgos did a Greek stream.
So cool.
Sunflower Samurai did a Spanish stream.
I will add, the German event had no German.
There were people asking about the German stream.
Everyone's like, where's the
German one?
We're like, they're
No
all
German.
playing.
They were all playing. So everyone that was involved was already there. So unfortunately, there was no German language stream for the German event.
Yeah.
However, I would say
The Germans are being generous.
Fun. It was an incredibly fun day. We got to see some amazing matches, and if you haven't seen any of the stream, go and have a look because there are some incredible matchups. The Oldham versus Katsu matchup in round 7 of Swiss absolutely saved me. I mean, that Katsu was so far down, and I think he'd played himself out of the game until his basically second to last hand, where he got exactly what he needed, and it worked a treat. But that absolutely saved my day, because then I managed to get some dinner after that, and Hamish jumped on to help out. Shingo had to do this all with COVID infection, so he was doing it. He could, by the end of the day, he could barely talk, and I think, he's absolutely
Shingo
been an absolute hero for us.
I wanted to just say about Shingo, because like we obviously we asked him to do it because he's good at it. Like, I think I don't want that to lose sight of that. Like, he obviously was doing us a favor because both me and Hamish were busy, but we asked him specifically because he's a great caster, and I think that came across. And like, he did a really long shift. But like, I've casted with him before, and like he knows his stuff, and like he is very good at it. And like, I think, respect to him for putting in the long shift as well.
And we did the 7 Swiss games, just the 2 of us, and then Hamish jumped on for the last 3 games, top 8.
And got all the praise. I
took all the credit.
Yeah.
So, what I would say is something.
You see,
you've got to be the last person on. That's the way to do it.
So you made the big bucks. Only show up to the big event.
We all want to do more of, and obviously you will have now seen the announcement that the 3 of us are doing the calling.
That's official now. We are.
Hooray!
We're casting the calling.
Faces on it. We are casting the calling, which is insane.
It is insane.
It is insane.
My mum put that picture on my birthday card. So there's a load of different pictures, and she found the one of our poster. So basically, you guys are on my birthday card as well.
So I've had people coming up to me at work and saying, "Oh, what's this you're doing? Like, is this some big event?"
Yeah, I've had some people say that to me. I was like, "Oh, what are you casting a push the point blood thing?" Yeah.
What do they need?
Yeah.
More like, what's the point? Whee!
So again, like we had with the RTN streams, we had some incredible feedback about the events we streamed. The chat throughout the day kept us going on the stream, and some of the compliments, some of the people that joined in, the number of people that joined in was insane. We had over 2,000 views on the stream on the day, and since has gone up to over 3,000 in the last couple of days. So it's just incredible the amount of people that have been turning on our channel to watch this, and it is really humbling, actually.
We've jumped to 200 subs in 4 weeks.
In a month, yeah.
Well, that's what I was just about to say that, because it's like, remember when I always bring this up? Remember when we did our 169?
Oh yeah.
We've just done that in a month.
We've made more than that in 1 month since we essentially started. Since we brought Sean on, or since Sean started working with us.
Oh yeah, Sean is the best thing that's happened since we decided we're going to do it. Literally. So Sean, you.
Oh no, it's been a pleasure. It's so much fun. It doesn't feel like I've only been here for.
It doesn't. You're right.
No, it doesn't. It's just like, this is it now. This is.
Yeah. I just love how everyone is like, where it, like, we had the Nottingham tournament on Sunday, and people are like, where's the stream? Like, that's what I love. Yeah. Like we didn't stream it, but I love that now. That's the expectation. Like, that's a lot to live up to.
Yeah,
is that now people expect that the UK tournaments are streamed, and like that's obviously something that we need to handle. And we need to work out how we're going to do that in the future, like how we're going to continue to provide that service to everybody. But the fact that that's now the expectation, rather than like people just assuming that won't happen.
Yeah.
What I would also add to this whole, we can start wrapping it up in a minute, but what I would also say is that there was some trepidation about changing the formula that we had for the channel. And Sean came to us with a proposition, and we all considered that, and we said it probably wasn't the right time when you first came to us, Sean. And we revisited that a few months later and decided, do you know what? Why not? What is there to lose? Like, there's the potential upside for this is huge, and the potential downside is minimal. So why don't we try it? And to any content creators or anyone really, like, don't be afraid of change. Have a look at where the potential positives are and mitigate any potential negatives, and just jump in and go for it, because it can really work.
Just fucking go for it. That's what we did. Look,
Just go for
seriously,
it.
2 years ago, Jesus Christ.
And
I met with you two and went,
I know.
Well, you guys sound totally different from me.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Now
here we are.
Again,
when we
so
have
excited.
Like, we knew Sean from back in the day. We've been playing Flesh and Blood in the same circles for 2 years. Like, we know Sean was a good guy. The downsides were limited because we know Sean is a good guy and he fits in with Push the Point and our ethos as a channel.
Absolutely.
Been great.
I think like the thing is that we don't want to. We just want to keep doing this. Like, obviously, me, Hamish, and Simon, we're going to be casting the calling. Like, obviously, that agreement was made.
Yeah, that was quite a while back.
So, you know, for anyone wondering, that was we've been having conversations with Fabio. I'm sure he's very happy for us to say that that's been the case for a while.
That's not my gig.
We obviously discuss these things a little bit in advance.
We were not even considered streaming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The idea is we want to.
Nothing's been announced for streaming the calling yet, so we're not talking about it.
Yes, we don't know who's going to be streaming the calling, but we want to continue to provide opportunities for Sean, provide opportunities to Push the Point in collaboration with what Sean's doing. We're going to look at what opportunities are available to us. We're really happy about like the idea of casting from home, like what Simon was doing for the Battle Hardened, and we'd love to do that again. We'd love to cover major events. We'd love to be involved in like European Fab in a big way. And we just want to keep doing stuff. Like, we want to just keep pushing ourselves, like pushing the channel and continuing to play. Like, I think,
and having some fun along the way.
Like if you've got anything from what Simon is saying, like, you know, he's going to get up at 1 a.m. in the morning and play an Armory. Like,
and we're all just going to sit there with our popcorn.
We're clearly not at the point where we're just
not streaming that one.
We're not just trying to phone it in and make content about Fab, because we love this fucking game. Like, we want to get up at 1 a.m. in the morning.
You're watching
for our weekends playing it. Like that. When we still really are really engaged in Fab, which is insane. Like, you know, like sometimes you can lose love for stuff, but like for me, this game is just still providing so much for me and so 100%. Many opportunities. And
you're watching 4 dudes play Fab, and then we're just using our little crap, our platform and our bullshit to go, hey, and this is the UK scene, everyone, and it's working, it's working well.
Highlighting,
it's working all right.
Showing people what we're doing, showing people what we have. You know, stopping our players from just being local Armory players and actually being actual real superstars. Right? So,
sick. I honestly, from when we finished last year, and we turned around and went, you know what, last year was really successful. I thought that was crazy. That was crazy. And then I actually walked into going, you know, I don't know how we're going to top next year, because I vlogged a calling in the world. We did loads and loads of interviews, but all for, you know, we're doing all this stuff. How on earth are we ever going to top? And we also did a spoiler as well with 4 Worlds. I was like, Jesus, how are we going to top that amazing year we had?
And now it's all blown out of the water.
And then it's just like, in 5 moments. He's just like, oh, okay, cool. Already smashed it. So now I'm like, what the fuck are we going to do next year? And it's
we were
only
like,
June.
We'd like to make 2,000 subs next year, and it was like,
Oh, yeah, we're
we're
never,
not quite
yeah.
there.
Well, we're
And
not
then
there
we
yet.
did
No,
the
we're not
stuff
there
with
yet,
Tom,
but
like, but we're
2K.
back on track.
Yeah,
Like,
2K
we literally
by the
had,
end
like,
of the year.
200
6 months.
200 subs in
2K.
the last couple of months, and it's just been like, yeah, we just want to keep pushing, keep growing. Keep
But
doing
on
good.
that note, go and subscribe to the channel.
Oh, and the Patreon.
Join the Patreon.
Subscribe to Push the Point VODs as well for all
Oh, yeah.
the
Yeah.
videos.
That's where you
Stream.
can find the Dark Sphere
Sphere
stream because it was on there.
Yeah,
I would
because we had to
recommend
do the
watching
Battle
that as
Harden.
well, because I know a lot of people watching the Battle Harden, but it was a pretty spicy tournament.
It was.
a lot of
We
people
had
were
watching
more ways
as
to
well
do
in
it.
like round 5. Yeah, and
What was that?
Reinar Bolton, I think I had
Yeah.
on stream in round
Nice.
4 or 5.
Oh, I'm
It was
cheating.
awesome.
I'm
Mate,
tuning.
it
I'll
was
tell you
so
what.
good.
I'm doing that classic. We're doing a classic
gotta
battles. I
commentate
want that
that game,
game. I
please.
want that game. Let's go.
Mate, it's so good.
Send
That
it
is
over.
a classic battle and a half.
That is a
so,
classic battle.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to wrap it up. We have been
yeah.
just about an hour going today.
Oh, this is tight.
It's been
I love
really
it.
nice. It's been really nice
Tight.
to just
Tight
recap the
podcast.
RTN season. Next
Been a great
time we
season.
talk, we'll find out whether I actually managed to get anywhere close to the Nats qualification
Come on,
window.
Si.
Fingers
Um,
crossed. Fingers crossed.
And yeah, we can talk more about an upcoming banned and restricted announcement.
Oh, did Rosetta make it? Oh, find out in the next episode. Ah.
All right, thanks very much, guys.
See you
Love
later.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.